The winner takes it all, the loser has to fall. You've probably never had your heart broken the way this song describes it. So why does it still hurt? Here's the real question hiding underneath that line. Not why losing hurts, something stranger than that. Why does one person's victory make everyone else feel like they lost, even people who were never actually in the race? By the time this is over, you won't even remember it started with a song. Because this isn't about winner, it's about you. You're 17. The teacher is reading exam scores out loud, starting from the top. You're listening for your name. It doesn't come. It comes fourth from the bottom. You're 26, sitting in your car outside your apartment, rereading an email that starts with, "Thank you for your interest." You read it 3 times, like the 4th time might say something different. You're lying in bed at midnight, and someone from high school just got engaged, got the house, got the life you thought you still had time to get to. None of these moments make the news. Nobody's writing a documentary about the 4th from the bottom kid or the almost hired candidate. But you remember them, in detail, years later. Here's the strange part. Winning fades from memory fast. Losing doesn't fade at all. That's not a coincidence. That's a design flaw your brain refuses to fix. Which still doesn't answer the real question. You weren't even competing with that girl who got engaged. So why did her win feel like your loss? Quick question. Who was the second person to walk on the moon? Don't worry if you don't know. Almost nobody does. Everyone remembers Neil Armstrong. Buzz Aldrin was standing on the same surface 90 seconds later, having trained just as hard, risked just as much, and history basically shrugged. Now make it smaller. Make it yours. The second best resume in the stack. The runner-up in the competition your family still brings up. The almost viral video that got 40,000 views instead of 4 million. You probably can't even remember who came second in that competition you watched last year. Neither can anyone else. That's not bad luck. That's the whole system working exactly as designed. Psychologists call it the Matthew effect. Success doesn't reward you once, it multiplies. The recognized one gets more attention, which buys them more recognition, which buys them even more attention. The person just behind them, doing nearly identical work, gets almost nothing. Which means the gap you feel between almost and made it isn't in your head. The winner took the attention. Somewhere in you, a much older part of your brain assumed they'd also taken your future. It gets stranger, because almost isn't even the part that hurts the most. Picture this. You find $100 on the sidewalk. Good day. By dinner, you've forgotten about it. Now picture losing $100 instead. You'll replay that one for a week. Where did it fall out? What you should have done differently? What you could have bought with it? Same amount, completely different weight. Now put that next to something closer to home. 10 people compliment your work. 1 person tears it apart. Which one keeps you up at 2 a.m., rewriting the sentence in your head? You already know. You've lived it. There's a reason your brain does this. Losing something hurts roughly twice as much as gaining the same thing feels good. Your nervous system isn't broken. It's just ancient. It was built for a world where losing your place in the group could mean losing your life. It still reacts to, you didn't get the job, like it's reacting to, you didn't get the food. Sometimes losing doesn't hurt because you failed. It hurts because someone else succeeded. And that's before another person even walks into the room. Your friend gets promoted. You smile. You mean it. You hug them. Then you go home and suddenly your own job feels smaller than it did that morning. Nothing about your life actually changed. Same title, same desk, same paycheck. Only your comparison changed. You open your phone. Someone's on a beach. Someone bought a house. Someone's baby is smiling in perfect light. 5 minutes ago you felt fine. Now you feel like you're behind. Behind on a race you never signed up for, against people you barely know. The winner didn't become your enemy, your comparison did. Psychologists have a name for this, social comparison. We don't measure our life by how good it is. We measure it by how it looks standing next to someone else's. For most of human history, someone else meant maybe 150 people, your village, the people you'd actually meet. Now it means everyone. Every stranger's best moment delivered to your hand on a loop forever. But here's what nobody tells you. You weren't competing against any of them until your brain quietly decided you were. There's a sentence that shows up quietly after enough of these moments stack on top of each other. It doesn't announce itself. It just slips in one day like it was always true. Not, I lost. Not, that one didn't work out. I'm a loser. Notice what happened there. It stopped being something that happened to you. It became something you are. Failing a test is an event. Believing you're stupid is an identity. A relationship ending is an event. Believing you're unlovable is an identity. The worst part hasn't happened yet, because once that identity forms, every future attempt stops being about the task in front of you. It becomes about proving or disproving who you already secretly suspect you are. That's why failing at 25 can wreck you more than failing at 15 ever did. The stakes didn't get bigger. You did. More of you had already fused with the outcome, which means the people who actually win should be safe from all of this. They're not. You'd think winning ends it. The title, the acceptance letter, the applause with your name in it. Ask the people who've actually gotten there, and you'll hear something nobody warns you about. The relief doesn't last. What replaces it is a new, quieter fear, the fear of losing the thing you just won. Imagine climbing for years toward one goal, reaching it, and instead of peace, hearing a small voice ask, "Now what if I fall?" That's common enough to have a name, the paradox of arrival. The summit isn't where the anxiety ends. For a lot of people, it's where it starts. Some of them carry something quieter underneath it, a suspicion that they don't actually belong up there, that any day now someone's going to notice and it'll all get taken back. The spotlight didn't make them valuable, it only made them visible. And visibility, it turns out, isn't the same thing as safety. So if winning doesn't end the war and losing doesn't either, maybe the war was never about winning at all. Here's the part almost nobody tells you. Life was never actually winner takes all. That's not how meaning works, not how love works. Nobody's worth gets zeroed out because someone else got there first. But your brain doesn't know that. It's still running code written for a tribe of 150 people and real physical scarcity, trying to survive a world with billions of competitors and an infinite highlight reel it was never built to process. Think about the moments that actually mattered in your life. Were they the moments you beat someone? Or were they the moments you simply kept going when it would have been easier to stop? Sometimes second place isn't painful because you lost. It's painful because you were close enough to imagine winning. That closeness was never the wound. The story your brain told you about it was. The people who eventually find peace with all of this don't win some final, ultimate contest. They just quietly stop entering the one their fear built for them. They stop measuring themselves against a stranger's best day on a screen and start measuring themselves against who they were yesterday. That's the only comparison that was ever actually fair. So the next time that familiar ache shows up, the one that says someone else won and you didn't, remember this. You were never actually competing against them. You were competing against a story your brain told you the moment you came second. The winner takes it all. That's the line you clicked on. But the winner never actually took everything. They never had the power to. The only thing that ever got taken from you was handed over voluntarily, the moment you decided their win meant your loss. The winner took the spotlight. You gave them the rest.